Kom ons kyk. Are you feeling lost, unsure of the next step? Welcome to UnderdogZone, where we dedicate to help you to find your way in business, embrace your journey, and transform you into the hero you are intended to be. So dis 'n prompt wat ek vir ChatGPT gesê het, "Hey hoorie, gee vir my 'n introduction." Ek het in 2015, ek kan hierso wel sien alles in stories. 2015 het ek UnderdogZone begin en hierdie particular ene wat julle nou gaan kyk, Faith's Got Legs. Nou my gunsteling scripture vers in die Bybel is Faith is useless without any good deed. So dit beteken dat jy moet beweeg. Jy moet aanhou beweeg en vertrou op die God van hierdie hemel en aarde. Want mens sal jou teleurstel, maar God sal nie. Geniet hierdie episode.
Are you just another person that makes up the population?
Okay. Hey guys, thank you very much for joining us at UnderdogZone. Man, I'm sitting here with my friend Jeff, and he's going to talk about Faith Got Legs. I think in my life, I think that's a very important subject, especially when I start a business. And you know what, you need to get your vision right. But let's take it over to Mr. Jeff. Jeff, thank you very much for joining us at UnderdogZone. I really, really appreciate it. We met at CFAS.
That's right.
And we met, and the first thing that you said was, I talked to you about my new film called Gebore Talente. I know it's Afrikaans. And you said, you know what, you need to have faith. And I think that's a personal relationship that you need to have. It's a personal walk. But you've been around the block. I mean, it doesn't come easy. I mean, if you want to build a business, or you're trying to build a relationship with God, faith plays an important role, but it's not always easy. I mean, if it was easy, then a lot of people would have done it. A lot of people would have created success. A lot of people would have been Christian by now, because it needs to be easy, but it's not. What is your perspective on the whole faith story?
Well, Renier, I think faith is an extremely important thing, not only in business, but also in your daily life. I mean, if you don't have faith and you don't believe in something, I mean, you might as well don't wake up in the mornings. And starting a business, you first of all should start by believing in yourself, believe in your product, and then believe what you do every day is what's meant to be. And for me, that's quite important. When I started off this business in 2012, 2012, God gave me a vision, and He said, "Well, Jeff, this is a product I want you to bring into the world."
Yeah.
At that stage, prevention of cable theft was a very big hub.
Well, it still is today.
It's still today.
Yeah.
And there was no product in this world that has ever been certified, tested. And God gave me a vision, and I thought, well, overnight I'm going to be successful, because I mean, we're talking multi-million. South Africa is a 5 billion rand cable theft lost alone. So I came from quite a good business, which was business development director for a company called Hire.
Yeah.
At that stage, we were the fastest growing company in the world.
Sure.
And we were doing the telephony in the Africa region. And God gave me the vision, and He said, well, Jeff, do this product. And I thought, well, I'll do it while earning US dollars. So everything is hunky-dory on our side.
Everything's going to go
just plan out and work. And then one day He asked me, He says, well, who do you work for? And at that stage, I was still working for the Hire team.
Yeah.
So I informed my CEO, and I said, well, listen, I need to resign. The CEO of the company flew over and he said, well, Jeff, it's fine, continue what you have to. So I thought, well, still earning a salary, got a good vision, so everything works out to plan. And a couple of months later, God asked me again. He said, well, Jeff, who do you work for? So I realized I have to phone the CEO again. And in my little head, I had giving them a 3 months notice. So I've got paid for 3 months. And as I phoned the CEO, he says, Jeff, it's fine, you can finish the end of the month. I mean, so everything is unplanned for. Start the business. Went to one of my friends who believed in the product. And he said, let's do it. I said, well, we've got one small obstacle. I don't have finance. Patent cost alone in the world is quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then product development from engineer side is also a lot of money. So one thing I had a company, I had a person who believed in the business, and I was able to offer him shares as payment in the business. But the period we were talking about here now, it's a 21-month period.
Of development phase, probably.
Of development phase, getting the business to go to market, getting funding in, which is where you see the perfect picture today. But that 21 months, God really, really took away everything I could ever work on. He took away all my savings.
Sure.
And he really made me humble and said, well, who are you really going to trust now? It's God.
Yeah.
And one thing I learned from that exercise is that stepping out is the important thing. That first step I made was critical to me.
Sure.
And 21 months, no salary.
21 months. Yo.
Yeah, and every single month, all my bills were paid.
Yo.
Every single month. I didn't have to go and beg at anyone.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the bank manager. Not one day did I receive a phone call to say, Jeff, you owe us money. And God is so faithful. When you step out and you're absolutely in the unknown, you must really just believe and have that faith and know what you believe in. And that's the difficult part. I mean, not the walk, the faith walk is not an easy walk.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But you know, it's crazy when you say that the faith is not an easy walk. I've been this whole morning, I've been at his office, we were talking, and the main sub that we were talking about was the whole faith issue. And well, I think I learned a lot just by talking to you, that faith really doesn't come easy. You need to go and step out of your circumstances, out of the boat, which is the action part. And then just, you just need to trust. And we're working for you. You know, we've got one daddy and he wants to provide for you. But you need to have faith in that aspect.
Yeah, God will never let you down. But I mean, the moment you sit and you say, well, God will provide, and you just sit, I mean, you are going to go hungry.
You go like that.
You truly need to go out and do it. I mean, there's a simple story, and I shared it with you earlier on. A man was sitting on a rock, and it was in flood time. And the boat comes past and says, can we help you? And the man sits on the island, and he says, well, God will help me. So the man sits and he prays and he says, God, please help me. Another boat comes past, the same scenario. The third boat come past, and same scenario. And Oak went up and he said, God, but why didn't you send help? He says, I sent 3 times. How many times you need help?
Yeah.
And we all got the ability to do something in life.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't step up, take that first step and physically do it. Walk out, take the first step.
Yeah.
And really trust and rely on God.
Sure.
Then I think that's the winning recipe. But faith is in Afrikaans we say a werkswoord.
Yeah, it's an action word.
It's an action word. So you have to step out and physically do it.
Make God the priority. Seek first the kingdom and his righteousness. Make him your business partner. You need to put him in every single aspect, in every single area in your business. And then thereafter, you know what, you need to work. It doesn't come easy. It really doesn't come easy. But Jeff, thank you very much for just coming on my show, sharing a bit of your wisdom with us. And like we're all human. We do make mistakes. We do fail. You told me that Richard Branson, he failed like 6 times, played bankruptcy for 6 times.
Yeah, around there, yeah.
And so just shows you that if you're in a failed stage right now, just trust in God and know that God's still got a plan in your life. And God's still He's still got a vision in your life. So don't be discouraged. Jeff, thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
What did you realize from this guy? What did you realize from Jeff? First of all right, he had focused. Second of all, he knew that God gave this business idea to him. And then he had faith. 3 things. All right, so you've got a business idea that God gave you, but you're still struggling to start this business. You've got talents, you've got attributes to fulfill this project, but you do not have belief.